What up, what up? Good people, welcome back to another episode. Talk Your Shift. It's your boy Reggie here. Of course, I got my brother Big Lou with me.
What's going on, everybody? Good to be back. Let's do it. Ready for another one.
Indeed. We're going to jump in here with a little quick, I don't want to call it breaking news because I'm sure everybody in the world knows, but it's one of those, where you just got to jump on and talk about it. The NBA trade news, it's a lot of stuff that went on in the news, but we want to talk about two of the biggest ones that happened in the last 24 hours or so. It's going to be that Lakers, Mavs, Jazz trade, basically a three-team trade. The main parts of the trade, Luka going to the Lakers and AD going to the Mavs. They got some other pieces thrown in there, Max Christie, Mac Claver and all those guys. But of course, we want to talk about the big dogs. So, I'm going to get Lou's thoughts first. I just wanted to, he's in LA. He got the buzz around him. He understands the situation, how it's hitting, touching down at home. Also talking to just family members in LA, Laker fans. I want to get your thoughts, and then I'll jump in on what.
First of all, I don't want LA to jump down Pelinka's throat right now. It's really early. The trade deadline is not over until Wednesday. So, some moves can still be made. But I think this was a huge one. I think it was a huge one. AD has had his opportunity. I understand he's been, his recency bias for a lot of, LA folks, because AD is playing well. He's one of those stretch fours, stretch fives that can play all positions, offense and defense. But just my opinion, AD is too wishy-washy for me, man. I've been waiting for this dude to leave for a long time. And I know y'all might be mad at me because y'all come with it. This dude, seriously, I'm not gonna call him soft or anything like that, but I'm saying that's the reason why he got the name Street Clothes in the first place. Because what you will find out is that in those crucial moments when you need him, he's gonna be right over there on the bench. You know what I mean? And with that being said, I think the Lakers, they came up. They got a young 25-year-old, a transcending player, what I thought was like an untouchable player. Luka is one of those names that you put out there that you would think would be on any team, the untouchable player that everybody would know that wasn't going anywhere. You know what I mean? Kyrie seemed like he was expendable. Everybody else was just role players. And so Luka was the one that we all knew that for sure was going to be in Dallas for another season, at least, or for the remainder of the season, I should say. So I think it's a great move on Pelinka's part to continue the legacy for the Lakers of having their franchise player moving forward. There's going to be some pieces that still need to be added for them to be relevant this year, but I don't think this move was just for this year. I think this move was just a move that need to be made, and you just cannot pass up on it. It's right there in front of you, and to pass up on it and stay as old as they are and stay as stagnant as the Lakers were, it would have been a problem. And I don't think LA would have been, they wouldn't have appreciated that either. And of course, you know how we are. We want to win a championship right now. So I think it's something to get excited about. I think the Lakers have their promising player, and I think other players have somebody that they can be excited about coming here to come and playing with now that LeBron can pass over the mantle truthfully, to a player that is willing to pick it up. And so I'm going to hand it back to you. But I think the Lakers made a great move, and I think that there's going to be some other moves they're going to make before Thursday.
Right. Nah. So, I woke up to the trade. For y'all, context for the people, Lou got the trade information first, called me Saturday night. I was knocked out. I did like 12 basketball games on Saturday, so I was gone. But I woke up to the trade like it was fake news. Initially, it's blasphemy. Initially, just thinking about it. When I first hear about it doesn't make any sense. And again, all the things that you said, and this is my initial thoughts. I'm going with. Initially, I'm thinking it doesn't make any sense. We're trading definitely defense. Now we're talking about AD on the floor. I get it. We know AD is going to have a quadruple double, and that last category is going to be how many times he fall on the ground, hold his back or hold his knee. And so it's going to be 30 points, 12 rebounds, 8 or 9 or 10 assists, and 12 back rubs, back holdings. You know what I mean? Because he's going to be on the ground. So I already know. But I'm talking about the times when he's on the floor and the impact that he makes on the floor defensively, especially. You are losing a defensive player of the year caliber player, a rim protector, a guy that changes any defense immediately, and puts them in the top 10 in the league, especially if they have other guys that can play along with them, which I'll talk about later. And you're trading that for a young superstar. So again, as I look at, I'm a Laker fan. I know y'all see Cole up here in the back. I understand the macro plan. I understand that they're looking at the entire stratosphere of the organization, planning on going forward. Currently, for this particular team, who is what, fourth or fifth in the West right now, I don't see how this makes them a contender or better at all. I do believe this makes them worse currently with the current structure. And I know you mentioned the other players that they're going to have to step up around them and make other trades. Him and LeBron are just two of similar players. So you lose points and rebounds and definitely top 10 defense. And you gain points. I mean, and Luka's gonna board a little bit. He's not a tenacious rebounder like AD is. And again, I preface my statement: not injured AD. I know that when he's not on the floor, he ain't helping. Availability is the best ability. If when he ain't here, he ain't here. You know
Right.
what I mean? So I totally get that, and I agree. He can't be trusted in that right. You can't be trusted in that right. You are injured entirely too much. You also are in a place where you're stuck where you are. You're at the prime of your career. There's no adaptability. When you get AD, you know what you're getting. There is nothing changing. There's nothing coming. You're not going to get a lot more than that. Everybody's talking about him taking that next step. No, there's no next step for AD. This is it. He had his chances to win the MVPs and all that stuff. He's not that player. He's not that guy.
Right.
And I believe that. I mean, deep down inside, I believe that, everybody was thinking that he can be the MVP. Like, no. The Defensive Player of the Year is his cat. He'll have spurts where he's averaging 25, 30 a game or whatever, but then he kind of digresses and, or injured or whatever it is. So I get it. Overall, I get it. If we don't do any other moves, especially to help us defensively, we are worse off if we go into the playoffs, especially with having two similar players like LeBron and LeBron and Luka. They bring similar things to the table. One is just 15 years younger. I mean, it's just
So check
clear.
this out. Look. So my thing is this. Only one team can win the championship at a time. So when you think about it in that way, so when you take that perspective, it's going to be 29 team that's going to lose. Man. You know what I mean? And so if the
Okay,
Lakers
Luke, but
weren't going to,
before you get into that, we understand that. I'm not saying that the Lakers were guaranteed
they
to win
weren't
this
going,
thing. This thing,
they
you're right.
not.
Well, I'm only comparing the formerly constructed team to the current one. That's all
Okay,
I can compare.
all right.
That's all I'm. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, of course. I mean, it's only one champion every year, so I get it. And again, I'm not disputing any of your points because some of these things are kind of like fact. I mean, they are your opinion, but a lot of that shit is facts. It is what
If
it
you
is. You
don't,
see what I'm saying?
if you're not
But
in contention to win right now, and they're not in contention. I mean, they are based on record right now, and the
see,
team
that's
at
what
this
we.
point, you can say that they're in there. But we know we can all look at each other and say, is the Lakers going to win the championship this year? And I think it'll be at a 90 percentile that'll say, no, they're not going to win it. And if you're not going to win the championship right now, you can't pass up on a player at Luka's level. That's all that I'm saying.
I, I'm not disagreeing with any of that. I'm not disagreeing with you. What I'm saying to you is that it's just speak the facts. The facts of the matter is when you have a percentage of winning the championship like every other team. And I'm saying currently constructed that the percentage went down. I don't care if Luka is. That's all
Yeah,
that I'm saying. So you're saying And so
because it's like a
ultimately, you're saying that that
rebuild.
doesn't matter. But hold on though. But you're saying that that doesn't matter to certain people, and that's fine. That's fine that it doesn't matter to certain people that if you had a 65% chance of winning the championship going into the playoffs, and where we all know all the games matter. You got to play the games to beat them. You got to be beaten. So somebody's going to have to beat LeBron and AD 4 times, which they did. I'm not saying that it hasn't happened before. I'm just saying, period. That's why we play the games. It's not going to just happen on paper because everybody expects them to lose. And that's how, we have surprise teams like that all the time. So all I'm saying is, currently constructed, you have a less, as far as I'm seeing, the roster that's there is you have created a opportunities to win the championship at a lower degree. Currently constructed. Now again, if that is not the goal, which is little foreign for most Laker fans, because most Laker fans has been spoiled enough to understand that a lot of that was trying to win right now, and every year the opportunity is to win that
Right.
year, regardless. Unless we're talking about like old school Samaki Walker, Smush Parker days, where everybody knew what time it was. You see what I'm saying? Like we can act like we was trying to win championships, but come on, bro. We all gotta do. You know what I mean? We was treading water while Kobe was trying to figure out if he was gonna leave before Powell Gasol got there and they went on that run and Phil came back and all that kind of stuff. So again, I get it. This is not that team. We had superstars and a legitimate opportunity to make some noise at being fourth or fifth seed in the West. Not a play-in team. They played above being a playing team for most of the year, and they had their slips, just like a lot of teams had their slips throughout the year. But I'm just saying, currently constructed, having two similar players like LeBron and Luka on the same team, I don't know that they add anything to anybody. And again, we significantly have a drop off on defense. Period. Ain't nothing else to talk about. Luka don't guard nobody, and that's just a fact. So all I'm saying is, again, for 6, 7, 8 years down the line, when LeBron passes on and wants to do other things, go in the media or go into his entertainment business or whatever it is, it's the perfect person to pass your franchise to. Other points you made about players wanting to play with him and feeling like it's another environment. You don't feel like a monopoly, like you're going into LeBron's building, you know what I mean? Or into his organization where players feel intimidated to go there. And that is a thing. You know what I mean? So I understand that aspect, but that tells me you got to be doing something else. And from what the reports that I'm hearing, bruh is planning on staying past the trade deadline, and that could just be fluff and who all and all that because they may be just done with that whole circus thing, with the whole LeBron James train and the fanfare around him and Bronny and all that. Which they may be done with that. They may be like, let's look towards
I
where we're
mean,
trying to go.
what
That
did
was
they get?
cool and all
What
for
did
the
they get
beginning.
really get from it, other than having the first father son, situation or whatever in the NBA playing on the thing?
But
Other than that, it was just a spectacle.
It's a business
Yeah,
too, Lou. So they getting butts and seats. They getting people coming to G League games. They getting people to get come in and buy tickets that don't
I
even
agree.
care
I
about the
agree.
game. That just want to see that. You see what I'm saying? So it's still Hollywood. They still trying to make a generate revenue and get transactions going up in there. You
I
see what I'm
got it.
saying? So I get the logic behind that initially, but I think as a front office, when that kind of wears down and the allure of that from the public eye is not necessarily the focus, it's like now what we do. It's still 40 years old and you still playing at a high level. I mean, we can't just fucking deny that, man. I mean, he's still getting it done. You see what I'm saying? But he's not carry the team getting it done. He's not winning a championship by himself getting it done. Like Cavs LeBron or Miami LeBron. You know what I mean? So we
And I think
understand that.
another major
So again,
major point to make on this situation is, will LeBron be there? Um, LeBron,
yeah.
may not be happy with this situation, and I'm not sure, they're planning on, keeping him because he's really the only asset that they can get pieces around Luca. If they get rid of him, everybody else is like, you know, role players. I mean, maybe, AR, Rui, he may have a little stock, but for the most part, the Lakers don't have much, so what could they get back for a LeBron James? Would be the question. Could they get the
Well,
pieces necessary to make Luka and company, relevant in LA? I would propose that question to you.
I mean, the thing is when the player has so much control over where he can go, where you can trade him to is so much. It's so many deals that have to go on behind the scenes to make that work for everybody involved. You know what
Right.
I mean? Like the player that they make, the player or players, I'm sure it's going to be multiple that they feel would be sufficient. Would probably is definitely going to take multiple teams for one, and two. LeBron has to be willing to sign off on what those teams are. You know what I mean? When you that great, you get to
True.
choose. You get what I'm saying? It's like he's the piece that give us the most assets, that probably give us the most assets around. But is he willing to go? Which is a lot of the reason why he can confidently say, like he said in his reports today, I'm gonna be here. You see what I'm saying? Like, cause he can tell them no about what certain teams he don't
Right.
want to go to, like other players can do. You know what I mean? So I do, yeah, absolutely. He's the only piece. I agree with that, and that's the point that I was making earlier. Where I think that they have to be thinking about working with him to figure that out and figure out where he wants to go in this next chapter and how he wants to close things out. If it is there, how they're going to work through that. But like I said, currently constructed, I don't foresee. I don't see that. I don't see how with those two guys. Very ball dominant, both guys. Again, neither one plays defense. LeBron probably still plays defense better than Luka right now. You see what I'm saying? At 40. And he don't play no defense pretty much. We ain't winning without having a defensive presence. So that goes out of the window immediately. A fourth, third, I don't care what they were, what seeded they are. If you lose the top three defensive player in the league, you're gonna not do well in the playoffs. Period. I mean, like I said, unless they making to do something, which again, I would be on board for. I'm not a LeBron hater, but I'm not a LeBron like super fan either. It's like if he got to go, he
Yeah,
got to go.
I believe.
When he first, me and you were in agreement when he first came there. Like, I mean, I can do with him or
I believe
without
the
him. You
Lakers
know what
still
I
have
mean?
some moves up his sleeve.
Yeah, and I would hope so, bro. Because as it currently constructed, it doesn't look like it's making much sense outside of the future, and not near future. We're talking whenever LeBron decides he wants to take a walk. You see what I'm saying? That's the only way I see that
Right.
working. And again, Luka has matched his game so much behind LeBron that he is a mini version of him that is not as good. Now again, he's young. He can adapt his game. He can do more things with his game than I think that a person that's in the mid late 30s, they kind of set in there whatever they are. So he's young enough to be able to be in a position to adapt, learn from different coaches, different coaching staff to give him a different perspective on the game and how to approach the game. But right now, he's not even. He's a 0.03% off the ball, something like that. Like he does nothing off the ball. He does nothing. LeBron is better than him off the ball, and LeBron is
No,
ball
I get it.
dominant.
I
You
get
see
it.
what I'm
I
saying?
understand.
So it's like you just gonna be standing around out there. That's not really helpful, and that's great. People gonna come see us. People gonna have big butts in the seat. You're gonna get a lot of Hollywood stars that's gonna come there now because you got Luka there.
Is it
You see
safe?
what I'm saying?
Is it safe to
Uh,
say when Dallas came calling, you would have told him, "I can't help y'all"?
I can't say that I wouldn't have said that if I didn't have other things at work. If I had nothing at work with helping our team win in the now, like as far as a plan to move LeBron or get him, and we talked to him and he's willing to do certain things or go certain places, or for us to take care of Bronny in a certain way that make him feel comfortable, because that's a part of the conversation too,
Right.
bro. His son is in that organization. He's not just about to leave him out there dirty. Is in any history of LeBron to let anybody feel like he would do something like that? No. He's gonna dictate that situation too. You see what I'm saying? And that's a part of the equation that you got to think about as a front office and GM. And it's not just him. It's not just the control he has. It's all the imprint that he has and cachet that he has with the LA fan base, with the ingratiating with his son and the family. That is all big. Is a big deal, and it's a part of negotiations. You see what I'm saying? Again, I'm not even mad about it, bro. I'm like, help me understand, bro. Help me understand. I know we ain't a part of the front office. You ain't got to tell us nothing, bro. If that trade deadline go by and y'all still got LeBron and Luka, we in trouble. That's all I'm saying. We in big trouble. Because I don't see that
Right.
working. I don't see that as a situation where we're gonna improve after the All-Star break, like type of deal. Like, nah, I see us in a world of trouble, and people are gonna attack the weakness.
I think the Lakers.
We already,
I think they're gonna
huh? I mean, when you say that, you mean all right?
mid
Like what? If they don't do
season.
no moves?
I don't think that they gonna quickly drop from the seeding that they currently hold.
No, it may not be a quick drop, but again, and teams that are defensive minded and they're able to plan for you guys throughout a playoff season, I mean series, is a different situation than playing teams throughout the season. And who knows what I haven't looked at the schedule, but I don't know if their back end of their record is. I mean, the back end of their schedule is against a lot of over 500 teams, against under 500 teams. I really hadn't got a chance to look, but that also matters too. And again, just being the Lakers, you're gonna get everybody's
Right?
best. Everybody's coming to everybody's coming in bear shaw and do something against the Lakers. That's just how that works. It's just like when you play for the Knicks or you play for the Celtics. You're gonna get everybody's. People want to give you the show when they playing against y'all. You know what I mean? So I don't think the Lakers are just gonna fall from grace. I am saying that when teams get 2 weeks to prepare for you and y'all in the playoffs and y'all can't play defense, it will show.
Well, we'll see.
The NBA is not
We
like
got a couple of
yeah,
days.
it's not like the NFL, bro. Yeah, we'll see it in a couple of days about the trade deadline. But in the NBA is not like the NFL where you can slip in there in one playoff and all you got to win is one. No, they show your colors in the playoffs. You got to try to win 4 times, and you don't got the juice. That shit
It's
shows up.
true.
I don't care who you playing against. You know what I mean? So again, I want the best for him. I hope it does work out. And honestly, for the sake of the trade, I want them to get rid of LeBron. I need them to. Honestly, it's a fresh start for everybody to move on and move forward, and it's for us. And then we get what we get. If the Lakers go in the playoffs and make a little noise, be happy. If they don't, we got a young
Well, I'm
star, and
ready
we
for a
gonna
new
figure it out.
change, man. I'm ready for a change anyway, man. I say they get rid of him
Yeah, man.
and they get some nice assets, and let's see what the new look Lakers.
Let's see. I mean, but they're gonna have to, like I said, we got to get some role players in there. We got to get some guys that's gonna play some good perimeter defense because the defense at the rim is gonna be straight up trash,
You got to be
garbage,
able to. You got to be
basuda.
able to hand pick for LBJ. You know what I mean? You got to be able to be like,
Well, yeah,
I want that, and I want that.
yeah, and that's the thing. The point that I'm making before we move on to this last topic. Yeah, but he does too. He get to say, yeah, I get you want that, but I don't want that. I don't know what to tell y'all. You see what I'm saying? It is what it is. I wanted to talk about this DeAaron Fox trade to the Spurs. I mean, I know that is back burner, second fiddle, but god damn, bruh. That's some scary
I'm
shit.
scared.
Like, and they still got Chris Paul teaching both of these
Yeah.
niggas, man. They didn't even lose Chris.
Nope.
That's a gift that they getting on the floor real time. That is Popovich, Phil Jackson esque. You know what I mean? Where you got a real live head coach
Yeah.
on the floor, not a game, not a game. This is real life. You're getting real reps from the head coach while in play
Yeah,
during the
you could
season.
almost say Chris Paul is better than some head coaches that have jobs right now, and he's not. He don't even hold that position.
Easily. On top of that, the messengers means a lot.
Sure.
People respect a lot where it's coming from because he might be saying a lot of the same stuff the coaching staff is saying, but sometimes it's just the delivery and the individual that's doing the delivery that gets it through. Players trust players, man. That is still
Right.
doing it. It's not like he a scrub. Like Chris Paul coming out there starting, bro, 40, damn near 40.
Yeah.
He coming out there giving you good quality 25 minutes, 27 minutes a game. Get strong minutes, not turning the ball over and all that. That's actionable teaching. You see what I'm saying? So I know we're not gonna go into delving like we did with the Lakers, but I just think that overall it's good for the I think it's good to have a duo like that, a young duo that are hungry. You could tell DeAaron is just always had that dog. I think that Chris is gonna teach him how to hone all that in. You know what I mean? Because sometimes he get a little fiery and a little wild. And I think that Chris is going to, give him the game to manage all of that stuff and still be a general on the floor. And also teach him a little bit about that spreading that assist, getting this assist going on, getting up. And now you got somebody that you can really become a next level point guard, bro. Like he can 30 points, 10 assists every night type with Wemby. I mean, he gonna get 4 lobs just off GP. Like you gonna get some of those just because who you playing with, throwing them up to the top of the backboard where only he can get it. You know what I mean? So I just think it's like it's special. It's for the West. It's dangerous as hell. And honestly, I want to see and can't wait to see it together and see how it flows and see what it looks like. Just because this is one of those things that it makes sense, bro. It just makes so much sense. And the last thing I'm gonna say before I get out of here with this topic is the Kings are fucking trash. The whole organization is trash. I mean, I just think that they're terrible. They're terrible at what they do. They constantly do the same thing. They never plan to win anything. I think they just want to be an NBA franchise. Just be here. They have no desire to do anything right or ever even try to show growth and purpose towards something. Never. Never. You fire away the best coach y'all ever had. Y'all just do stupid stuff, and you have been just for the longest of time. Like, so I just wanted to add that because it's so many times DeMarcus Cousins had Buddy Hield. They had of course DeAaron Fox. They've had so many different players that they've drafted and just allowed to just go away.
Right.
I mean, and the Lakers do it too, but at least the Lakers get stars. They get nothing. They get picks and to recycle the same movements. You get picks, draft them, and then trade them away. Like,
Yeah.
what are y'all doing, bro? But yeah, that's all I got, man, on that Spurs. What's your thoughts on it? I mean,
Well,
it is
I'm gonna
scary.
start with the organization, man. I just think, the Sacramento's organization is just one of those organizations for the most part that, they like to be in the conversation or whatever the case may be. But as far as winning anything or whatever, they're only committed when it when it fits or when it feels good. Like they're one of those feel good teams, but they never really intend to, win anything big. You know what I mean? So they'll win a few, series. They'll beat some big teams and stuff like that. But really, that's kind of like where it ends for them in the area of, champions or even potential champions or anything like that. I don't really think that you'll ever really hear their names in that conversation since what we remember used to be Chris Webber's team, with White Chocolate and all of those guys or whatever, but they'll never be as big as they used to be. And I think this last team that we just saw will probably be the biggest that we'll see from them or the most noise we'll hear from them, in a few years, So again, I'm not gonna call them trash, but I mean, I just think that they have their little windows and they make a little noise, but for the most part, it's kind of like empty cans. And on to DeAaron. Does
Yeah.
DeAaron?
Well, yeah, just before you go to the end, where does empty cans go?
I said they make the most noise, so I think
I know, but you said you're not gonna call them trash. But where does empty cans go?
they go to recycle.
To the trash. The trash man come and get them motherfuckers, man. Fuck out of here, man.
Okay.
Niggas is garbage. Go
And
ahead,
so
though.
DeAaron, man, I can't think of a name that's better suited to wear the Spurs uniform more than De'Aaron Fox. When I look at him, he seemed like he's built to just be, like a Ginobili, man, like a Parker. He seems like he fits with that organization almost just as much as those guys. I just think it's just going to work out. I think to put those guys together is almost on the same level, not the same level, but almost on the same level as putting Shaq and Kobe together. This is like the new future. It's going to be a little scary when those guys actually get coaching and start learning each other, where each other's spots are, you know, how you like to receive the ball and everything like that. And once De'Aaron gets confident, over there like he did when he was in Sacramento, I think it's going to be over. It's going to be a lot of teams that's going to be getting fits with dealing with those guys. And so it's an excellent organization, probably one of the best organizations that he could have gone, for regulate his game and actually become a champion. There he can become a champion. And so Wemby is already, seemed like I don't know how many championships he's going to win, but I imagine he going to get one at least. He just seemed like one of those players that he's very humble and he's just too talented.
Mhm.
So, yes, I think that those guys together are going to make some major noise. It's going to take a couple of years maybe for them to gel and, again, become, that unit that can take the NBA by storm. But, man, this team is going to be scary.
I agree. I mean, I agree with the point. His demeanor. I do think that in Sacramento they allowed you to get a little loose, and I think he's gonna have to rein a lot of that in coming in San Antonio, with just how they operate. It's just very mild mannered. But I think he has that in him. Like you said, I think it's definitely a part of his DNA. You know what I mean? So I'm excited to see them dudes, and I've never been a Spurs fan. I love their players. I love their coach. It's crazy. I love their coach. I love their players. I like that Timmy's on the staff. You know what I mean? I like that. I like a lot of the things that they do. I just being a Lakers fan, I could never like them dudes. You know what I mean? But especially all the battles that we had with those Spurs and us going back and forth, Western Conference championships and all that kind of stuff that we've had with that organization, man. I'm excited to see them. I'm excited to see what they
Well,
do. You
I'm
know what I
pretty
mean? And
sure now, with these moves being made, the ratings, for the NBA are going to take, are going to have a little spike. You know what I mean? Because right now, if you ask me, and this is just me before I even, study or go look at any stats, I would say right now, the NBA is taking a hit right now. Everybody's not watching all of these teams right now. It's not like I used to be.
I got to be honest. I'm reporting on it. I don't
Yeah,
watch
people
these
don't,
games.
but I don't
I
think
don't
it's
watch
just
these games.
you. I don't think people are watching games like
Right.
this anymore. I think,
But no, you needed this. You needed this
yeah,
shakeup.
definitely. And so
You
I
definitely
think
did. I
some of
agree.
the
I
other
agree.
small market teams are going to get better. And I just think the NBA needs that, especially if they're going to keep up with the NFL. You know what I mean? I think that's always been one of those things, as far as, ratings and things like that, because we know the NFL is, kind of like the superpower, but the NBA needed this little shakeup
Yeah.
or whatever the case may be to keep right there in the running.
Yeah. Sometimes most people, a lot of times, think the NBA trade deadline and off season be better than what's be going on during the season, just because it's a lot of stories and things and hope and potential and stuff behind it. It's always going to be second fiddle to the NFL. I hate to say it. It just is what it is. The anticipation of those weekly games is just it's nothing like that when you have games every other day, every other night. It's not the
Right,
same build up. You're not gonna have the same. It's just not gonna be the same.
right.
You know what I mean? So it's like they gonna have to take what they can get out of that second. Hey, yeah, man. But this is a good
Oh,
one,
yeah.
bro. NBA trade deadline approaching. I mean, we hope that our squad, the Lakers, make some other moves, but we gonna check it. We have our ears to the ground, checking out the next trades and to see what's going on with all the good stuff that's happening, and to see what the shakeups are for the NBA, man. But thank y'all for checking us out. Before we get out of here, we always want to check in with y'all mentally to make sure everybody doing well, make sure everybody's got a clear thought process and a mindset. Anybody out there dealing with anything, you can always come to the pod, drop it in the comments below. We can always make a safe space for anybody to have any of those type of thoughts or feelings. But we got y'all. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. And man, we out of here, bro. Till
Let's go,
next time.
Lakers.
That's what's up.